Hey guys, it is John C. Morley here, serial entrepreneur, coming at you actually for February 1st, but it is February 2nd, 2023 at 1:44 a.m. in the morning, Eastern Time. Had a long day today and had about a 3-4 hour town meeting, which got me back a lot later and then had some other things to do. So we have a great topic here for tonight, this morning for February 1st. We'll get to that in just a second. We start on a Saturday and we roll all the way through the week and we end on a Friday. And we'll get to our master topic in a minute. I want to thank you so much for popping in and being here and making the choice to really absorb, this great information. I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. And I want to thank those of you that are new, and you can just grab your smartphone, open it up, and launch the camera and point it to the QR code on the screen. And once you do that, you'll see my link tree just like that on the screen. Really easy, really, really simple. And if you're coming back, I want to thank you so much because it means a lot that you're coming back and watching the show and soaking up all this great information. And of course, I want to thank those of you that are coming back and watching us on the replay. That might be that actually could be 1 o'clock in the morning. It could be 2 o'clock in the morning. Um, it could be any time, to be honest with you. So I really do want to thank you for coming back and watching us on the replay. All right, let's get to our master topic, shall we? Here it is: How to Be a Friend, Series 2, Show 5, Episode number 5. So Series 2, we're in year 2, okay, Season 2, and we are in show number 5 for the year, and we're in episode number 5. So again, the show, we have 1 to 7, and so we're in episode 5 of the 5th show. When we think about friending people, we're talking about this, how do I friend someone? And what we're talking about is, you know, you've got to be genuine and really interested in a person. And when you do that, you're going to find that life really changes. When they see that you really care about them and what you're doing, it makes a pretty amazing difference in your life. Okay. Now, when I say an amazing difference, I mean the fact that you are someone that is able to see what's going on, hear what's going on, and feel. But when you make an action to get to know someone genuine without any kind of alternate agenda, they want to open up and be closer to you. Now, you might say to me, "Hey, John, this sounds like nuts," but it's not. So strive to become genuinely interested in the other person. That is number one. So when you're with somebody, it's important to listen to them, hear what they have to say. The hiccup there. Be respectful of who they are, what they're doing in their life, and try to think about them as someone that's complementing your life. You don't complete their life, but you complement their life. Now, that might sound crazy, but whether it's platonic, non platonic, you don't complete them. You are just someone that complements their life. If you can understand that you complement their life, then I feel that you're going to understand a lot. I mean, an awful lot. And so I'll tell you that life becomes pretty amazing. Now, when I say life becomes amazing, it becomes amazing when you have friends, and it becomes amazing when people around you befriend you. Now, if someone around you is being, I don't know, egotistical, they're not sharing things with you, or they're just being a jerk, that's not a friend. That's someone who's using you. So if you're here and I want to friend you, I get to know you, we hang out, we see that there's possibly some mutual similarities, and we feed off of those. We're respectful of each other, including each of ours time, and we do what we say the first time. So it's not like, hey, I meet you and then it's like, oh, geez, John, I got stuck, and you're constantly always late. And so someone that's constantly always late is always missing the boat, always has a problem, and they are not a good friend. They're also the person to be like, "Oh, this didn't work today, but I know John's okay with it. He doesn't mind if I come late. I mean, it's no big deal." Well, it is no big deal, but if you let the person know that you're running late or something happened, you will find a very deep respect with that person. And when I say befriend, you could do something like, maybe you're gonna go grab a bite to eat, and maybe you're gonna go do something fun like bowling or skeet shooting or what have you. And befriending means that you're there for that person. You're there to listen to that person. Now, when you really befriend a person, one thing I always like to do is I like to learn their birthday. Don't have to know their year, but just like to know their birthday. Sometimes I put that in my phone, and you might say, "Why do I do that?" Well, I want to do that because I feel that there's someone that um, I want to remember that special day. And I want to make them feel special on that day because they were born. And when you do that, it could be something very simple like happy birthday. You can send a card. So you befriend that person, right? So you get their birthday. You wish them happy birthday. Maybe you call them happy birthday. You send them a text on their birthday, something like that. Maybe you'll go out to lunch. Maybe you'll have them sing happy birthday to them or something like that. So that's the idea. And so what else I would do beside getting to know them a little bit and get to have their birthday written down is I would find out what's really important to that person. What do they like to do? And I would try to do things that they like to do first. I like to do that. And then a good friend is going to probably come back and say, hey, well, what do you like to do? And so when you've befriended a person, this is the real test. Okay. Now, when you meet somebody and you befriended them, which just takes a little while, you might say something like, "Hey, if you ever need me, just reach out to me." Or the common phrase is, "If you ever need me, day or night, I don't care what time it is, feel free to call me anytime if you need me if there's a problem." And so obviously they're not going to call you 2 or 3 in the morning because they can't screw a light bulb in, or they have a question on something. No, no, no. They're going to call you at 2 or 3 in the morning when they're not feeling well. You might say, "Gee, I don't want to do that because I don't want to be woken up at 2 or 3 in the morning." Well, first of all, when you do that and you make yourself vulnerable, that person's gonna be like, "Oh, gee, wow, that person really cares about me and what I think and what I do." And wow, I mean, no one's ever said to call them anytime, day or night. And I think that is a good earmark of someone who you've befriended. Joey, they'll respond in kind and say, "Hey, John, if you ever need me as well, anytime for an emergency, feel free to reach out to me anytime if you ever need something." And I remember, excuse me, this one person that I befriended, and they weren't feeling well. So I reached out to them and they still weren't feeling well. And I said, "Hey, if you need me, call me 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, whatever you need. If you need Adley and Anis, whatever you need, reach out to me." And you might think that that's stupid, but when you actually care for someone else, it's a game changer. They want to be with you over and over again, and they want to keep that connection alive. Why? Because you've done something exemplary. Now, you didn't do it for a reason to get on a map. You did it because it was your genuine self. And I wasn't expecting anything from it. But, when you do that and you're a little vulnerable, like sharing a vulnerable secret or something that you can trust that person with. So that's what happens. You build a trust with someone. And you might say, "Gee, I don't want somebody to call me at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning." Well, if you have a friend and they need you. Maybe they're sick or they need somebody to talk to, or whatever it is. Or it might be the fact that maybe they're going away somewhere, and maybe they're like, going to be lonely. And you might say, "Gee, John, that's not an emergency." Well, it is, because if you're traveling somewhere and you miss everybody and you want to talk to somebody because you're not feeling it, that's an emergency. And if you have a really good friend, you're traveling, hey, I know you get lonely on your trip. Feel free to call me, whatever time it is. Don't worry about the time zone. Just call me. Don't worry about it. And then you call them. It's like, hey, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. What's the matter? I know it's late. Yeah, don't worry about it. I'm just feeling a little sad. Well, why? And they'll talk to you. They'll make you feel better. See, friends, true friends, become happy when you're happy. And when you're sad, they try to make you happy. They try to, how can I say? They try to understand what's going on in your life. Now, they don't do this to be manipulative. They do this because they care about you, and they want to be there for you. You know, some friends might say, "Hey, John, I want to definitely give you a call." But then when push comes to shove, they actually don't want the call. So you call and say, "Hey, what are you doing?" Well, you said to call if ever need anything. Oh, yeah, I was just kind of being polite. You're being polite. And so why would somebody even say that? Right? Why? I think it's something that they want to do the right thing, but for whatever reason, they don't. And so when someone says, "Hey, give me a call if you ever need anything," most people that say that, they mean it, right? But if you call somebody in the morning and let's say, they answer the phone, like, "Oh, what do you want?" Well, you said to call you. "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was just a little grumpy." But and they say, "Hey, why'd you call me?" And then they get all pissed off that you called them. Well, they were just trying to be polite about having you call. They really didn't care about you or your feelings. Maybe I'll give you a perfect example. I had a situation many years ago, and I called somebody who I thought was my friend, and I got a response from that person. It was a situation where I had broke my leg, and I was all by myself. Nobody was with me. I was going to the hospital, and I said to this person, where I was, what was going on. You know what they told me? They said, "Oh, you remember that place? We have steaks. Remember Outback?" I'm like, "Yeah." "Oh, well, we're here now with a few friends, and we ordered like steak dinners, and they just came now. So, I don't want it to get cold. So, maybe we can talk later." I said, "Well, oh, yeah, you'll be fine. Just rest. You're gonna be fine. They'll take good care of you." And they don't give a crap about you. And when people do that, that's unforgivable. Okay. If you're a friend and you call me and I'm at dinner, and the first thing I'm probably gonna say is, "Everything okay?" I said, "Well, hey, I'm at dinner right now. Can I call you back?" "Oh, yeah, everything's fine. I can call you later. No problem. I'm sorry to bother you." If they call and say, "Is everything okay?" "Well, not really. You're in dinner, aren't you?" "Yeah, yeah, but hang on a minute. I'll be right back. Yeah, I'll talk to you. Hang on." And then you put everything down and you go talk to that person. Because when you do this, they see that you're a person, and they know that they like that treatment, and they're going to treat you the same way. People that do this are not users. People that do this care about your genuine integrity. They care about who you are as a person, right? And so to befriend someone, you get to know them, you hang out, you get to know their birthday, you tell them, "Hey, if you ever need anything, I'm here." Sometimes when you befriend someone, you give them a gift. It could be a friendship bracelet, what have you. And when you do that, it's a sign. Now, some people might say, "Oh, gee, that's crazy, that you're telling them to call you anytime." It's not. Because how many people do you know in your life that you could pick up the phone and call at 2 or 3 in the morning? I mean, seriously, think about it. I bet the answer is going to be one or probably no one. And if it's one, you know that you wouldn't call that person at 3 in the morning unless it was an emergency. If you're feeling really sad and you can't sleep. So something that's preventing you living your life, or Maybe you went to the restaurant and maybe you came home, maybe you're depressed, and now you're stuffing your face and you want to talk to that person. So, this is something that a lot of people definitely understand, but it's something that I feel most people will want to learn about, right? I said learn about. And so when I say learn about something, it's different. So when this person that I had as a friend of mine, supposed or so I thought, called them the wee hours in the mornings was something was going on. I wanted to call them and talk to them. And when I did that, excuse me, the first thing they did was they flew off the handle, like, why are you calling me? Well, you said to call you if I need you. Well, what's the matter? And the question was, are you dying or something? Like, no, but I'm not feeling. All right, good. Then don't bother me. I'll talk to you tomorrow morning. And that's not a friend. That's not a friend. A friend will lay their life down for you. A friend will risk their life for you. When you have a friend, you have an ally on your side. They believe you're right. Even when everyone else thinks you're wrong, they believe you're right. And they're going to stick up for you because they know that your integrity and who you are. I mean, that's what it's about. Ladies and gentlemen, I am John C. Morley. I've been enjoying sharing this whole series, which we still have a couple more days left, about how to befriend someone. And it's not by buying them fancy gifts, it's not by impressing them. It's by being a genuine person that cares for them. In return, they'll care for you. I hope you'll like, love, support the channel. Definitely comment below, tag your friends, colleagues, and associates. Share this out with everyone you know on social media. Go to my YouTube channel, John Space E Space MLAY Space Serial Entrepreneur. Look for that key phrase, help keep our content free. Make the choice, ladies and gentlemen, to buy my team and I a cup of coffee, a delicious fresh bowl of fruit, or a savory dessert. Either way, we'll be grateful. With those pennies and dollars you invest into us, we'll put that into new hardware, new technology, new equipment, new software, even facilities to give you the most impactful, jaw-dropping content to change your life if you really want to. I hope you guys have a great rest of the night if you're on the West Coast, and I hope you have a great rest of the morning here on the East Coast. And guys, I will see you tomorrow, actually later tonight. Take care.